Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. All right, guys. All right. Hey, welcome back. I got a great guest. I got one of my favorites. We've been doing the show for a long time. Miss Aminah Hamdan will be with us in a second here. She's the founder of the official pet boutique .com and straight to the point petgrooming.com. She did an awesome show last time. I don't know if you guys saw it, where she actually showed us how to work with a dog, because she'll teach you how to do pet grooming at your home office. If you want to open up a place, she wants you to be able to have what she knows so you can open up your own place. And she's just an incredible story, an incredible person. And guys, with no further ado, it is the one and only Miss Aminah Hamdan. Hey, Aminah, how are you today?
Hey, Casey, I'm doing lovely. How are you?
I'm doing well. That I was just telling people how awesome it was last time, where you showed us some techniques. It was actually a dog. What was the dog's name again? I forgot. Who was that dog that you were working
The
on?
dog I was working on, Buddy. Buddy.
Buddy, that's right.
His
And
name was
Buddy was
Buddy.
loving it. He was such a good dog, and you showed us some different techniques. Tell
Yeah.
tell everyone kind of about your courses and what you do and what you want for people, like to teach them and stuff.
So my grooming courses is going to show you generally how to do pet cuts, not like show cuts. Show cuts is a whole nother level. But doing a pet cut, like if you live in the city or if you live like out in the boonies, then everybody just wants the hair shorter, or a few little bougie things you can do, but just straight to the point, like how to get the dog looking nice, professionally leveled out and flawless, on your own time, and you can do it in your home or you can open up a brick and mortar, just so you can have control over your own time and your own money and have a say in what your income is going to be. So generally, that's what my courses are for, to show you technique that I know that I've been doing since I was 11, to help other generations or other people rise up from their 9 to 5 or their limited income status to live how they want to live. So that's what my courses are for.
And one thing that I wanted to ask you, how is that brick and mortar, the new store coming? How is that coming? Look at you smiling.
Yesterday, my grooming stations got delivered. And I was so thinking that I should go to the boutique and do my Zoom there. And I was just like, nah, I'll
We'll
wait
do it next
because,
time.
yeah, I could, because then it's going to be more together next time. And I have about a couple weeks before I do my grand opening. But everything is coming together extremely nicely and it's looking so pretty. I get all giddy. I message all my friends and all my family, all my pictures and stuff. And I'm just like, look, aren't these so beautiful? And yesterday, my son, Ben, he does summer school. When he got off of summer school, he went over to the boutique and he helped unbox all my tables and he was there for the delivery of my grooming stands. And he didn't know what I bought. And he said that they're beautiful. And I was like, I know, aren't they? Like,
So what's it going to look like? Is it going to be?
it's gonna be my boutique is gonna be like it's gonna be a lot of mirrors, a lot of bling, a lot of like gold, like because I'm a gold person. I love like diamonds and gold, like that's my thing. And so that's what my boutique is gonna resemble. It's gonna be a lot of like accents of like rhinestones and gold and mirrors. So because you can look at everything and the reflections of everything. I haven't got I'm gonna put some chandeliers up, like 2 chandeliers going down, because my boutique is 96 feet deep. So I got a lot of like ceiling space to go deep down. So I'm gonna put some chandeliers up on the ceiling, but I haven't had those put up yet. I'm waiting for everything else to get done, otherwise they're gonna get all dusty. So those will probably be like the last thing that gets put up before I put all my product on the shelves, which would be like my fragrance line or my candle line, and then the rhinestone leashes and collars and the little bougie like dresses and stuff, or like the boy like hoodies, or we're in the summertime now, so jerseys and stuff like that. So I'm gonna wait until like it's an order of operation, everything else done so chandeliers don't get dusty, put chandeliers up so product don't get dusty from the downfall from the ceiling. So
That sounds awesome. I mean, I
yeah,
know
I'm
you're
super excited.
yeah, and you've been working on this one for a while. Um,
4 months, 4 months.
do you
Yeah,
put this together in 4 months?
yeah,
Is there anything that
4 months.
is there anything you can't do, Miss Amina? It seems like whatever you set out to do, you do it, and you do it uh, efficiently and quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think 4 months is kind of a long time though, because I had to wait on all of the contractors because they're busy, and
Oh,
so like I had to wait on so and so and such, and he, she, they, and they, and it just. But I'm patient though. I'm patient because it all falls together in the perfect timing, So I have to be patient with it.
yeah. What about the other store? Well, is that still going to be?
Lulus,
Yeah,
Lulu's is I'm handing that over to a gentleman, and he is going to operate Lulu's while I move into my new boutique.
okay, cool.
Yeah, so
Eh,
I trained him, and he's going to take that over, and now I'm going into my new boutique, and then I have about 6 groomers that I'm going to have in there, with one of them being my lead groom,
6?
and then yeah, 6. I have space for 6 groomers.
That must be huge.
Yeah, well, it's 96 feet deep. And yeah, I think each grooming station I give about 6 feet space, for moving around.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's gonna look really pretty. And it's very spacious. You can't feel cramped. Like I've learned to acclimate myself into like really tiny little areas to groom. You know what I mean? So like I was like, well, 6 feet seems decent. So I spaced that out, and it's just going to be exciting. So Lulu's is going to be under the care of somebody else, and then I'm just going to stay with Official Pet Boutique, and then I'm going to probably do another build out shortly after that. I'm gonna say I'll give it like a year or two,
Awesome.
and
I'm
I
excited
already
for you.
have the clientele list, so like everybody knows I'm going there. But there's a few things I wanted to like address with some of the people that do listen. Is like, what if you're not going to become a groomer? That's cool. But like, what do you look for in your groomer? Like when you decide that you want to do a grooming, um, Casey, what do you look for when you go and have your cat groomed?
Um, Somebody that looks like the place is put together. It looks like that person is put together and neat looking and very professional, I guess.
Yeah, but some of the things that you really should look for is like, do you vibe well with that person? Because like, your animal vibes well with you, and who you vibe well with, then your animal will vibe well with them too.
Hmm.
That's very important because like, let's say you go somewhere, yeah, they're put together and they're talking professional, but let's say their aura is a little off. You know what I mean? Your
Yeah,
animal's going to sense that. And then
totally.
also somebody who can like go into like deep explanation into things with you, because like you as a pet parent, you're there to like have a companion and to love them and take care of them, and you go to a professional because they have the expertise, because they can explain things to you that you would not think of, or if you did think of it, you wouldn't understand, the depth of, the gravity of what that means, like the matting on your cat, for instance. If you watch that video on YouTube and they said take those scissors and like just cut
No,
the mat out. Like, so like having somebody to know like you shouldn't do that, this is why you shouldn't do that, so that you're not just like, oh, they just don't want me to. No, it's not that I don't want you to, it's because you're really going to hurt your cat.
right.
Like, so somebody who can actually explain things to you is very imperative.
And I got to tell you
And also
something.
to
Oh, I'm sorry. We just had a little delay.
go ahead.
That's the only reason. I used what you said to do, and I have to report to you. Very happy to tell you that the two mats on the back of Beep by the hind legs, uh, they have finally been removed, and Beep is a lot happier. I used you put the two fingers underneath, and then I
Yeah,
got the and then so if you don't you will, if you're gonna cut something, you'll cut your fingers, not the cat. I don't
yeah,
care about my fingers, but I do care about the cat. So I used
right.
that technique, and Beep has sent thanks to you.
Very well. Now just make sure you keep Beep brushed.
I brush him every day, but what about excessive shedding? Is that normal or what?
Yeah, when the seasons change,
I see.
because when it gets hot, like 2 weeks before the seasons change, then they're going to be shedding out their coat from the previous season into the new season.
I
So
see.
like you're probably getting a lot of like undercoat coming out because it was winter time. Then we went into spring, and now summer is coming. So you have all that winter hair, all that spring hair is coming back around, and you have to express all that out. Otherwise, he'll get matted again. very quickly. And his
What?
hair is very fine. It's very thin and fine.
Yeah. And what else should I
So
look
it's gonna
for in a
mat.
groomer?
So other things you want to look for in a groomer is like, yeah, having it together, like the cleanliness of their salon is very important because, and the smell. Oh my God, the smell of the place. If it smells like piss, no, no, no,
Run.
no, not cool. And because that's part of cleanliness. If their place is smelling like that, how often are they cleaning their equipment? Like you take those clipper blades off, and like in the video that we did last time, if you look at my like any of my equipment, there was hair on it, on my clipper and on the blade there was hair on it, but that was from Buddy though.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
of course.
But it's very important to disinfect because dogs, they get skin issues, cats, they get skin issues, and if you're taking your equipment on one animal and then not cleaning it and transferring it to another animal, you're transferring that bacteria, that yeast, that fungus, whatever it is, onto the next animal. So like the smell of their facility is going to tell you a lot about how clean they are in their equipment.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
Amina.
then it's like when you go to the barber shop. If you go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're on a little bit of a delay, so that's the only reason why that's happening. But I got,
Oh, okay.
like you said to get one of those, the silver, like the combs, the metal, the one that you were using.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
are you saying if I have three cats, if I use it on Beat and then I use it on Tortuga and then on Merlin's, uh, that is not a good thing. I should get three different ones. You saying, or put them in some kind of like
No,
at the
just
pump
like
shop?
wash it off.
Oh,
Wash
okay,
it off, sanitize it somehow. But like your animals though. Like, do they have skin issues already? They
Mhm.
live together. They sleep in the same beds. They rub up against each other. That's different. Whereas like if you bring your animal to a salon and you have Beep there and then you got Snickers there and you got Fluffy there, you don't know where they're coming from. They're all walks of life. You don't know what kind of atmosphere they're in. So it's like that.
I understand. That's
Yeah.
that's something good to look for. What else should people be aware of when they're looking for a good groomer?
I would say be aware of, does the groomer listen to you? Do they listen to you? Because a lot of times people will go somewhere and they'll say, I want this, that, and the third. Now, granted, if your animal's mad at it and you can't have that, let the groomer hear you first without cutting you off. And then if you can't have what you want, let them explain to you why. You know, because us as groomers, we don't want to intentionally send you on your way unhappy because you couldn't have what you wanted, because there has to be a logical explanation as to why you could not have what you got. You know what I mean? So them listening to you is very imperative, because if they're not listening to you, because some groomers like, oh, they don't know what they want and this looks better this way. But that's not what they want.
Right.
You got to give them what they want. That's why they come to you. you
Yeah.
know so somebody who listens to you is very important too. And like, you're not going to vibe good with anybody if they don't listen to you.
Very
All
true.
these things are important.
Yeah.
And then
Uh,
that's how you build a good relationship with them.
okay. All right. And Mr. Producers, you got instant feedback you want to come in with?
Yeah. We have Tabitha from Montana. And I believe she asked, why is it a bad idea to soak a specific area that's matted, then cut it out?
To
So
soak it.
yeah, I don't know
Did
why.
she say soak?
Yeah, soak it.
Oh, okay. So the reason why you don't want to soak matted hair is because, like, if you take a piece of string that has knots in it, you dip it in water a whole bunch of times, and you pull it out, it's still going to be matted, but those knots it's going to be still knotted, but the knots are going to be tighter. So once you get that mat wet, it's going to tighten, and then you're not going to be able to dry it depending on how thick that mat is.
Wow.
And then the skin will be wet too, and then it'll be hard for you to actually cut that hair because it's wet now. And sometimes if you take a clipper underneath there with like a wet shave, it'll clog your clipper and you won't be able to, like, get it off. Like, you can't groom you can't shave a dirty dog, but you can't hold on, was it? I cannot groom or bathe a matted dog or groom a dirty dog, like shave a dirty dog. You know what I mean? Like, don't get the mats wet. And you have to be able to shave clean hair because otherwise it's going to dull the equipment down. So don't get it wet, don't at all. And if they're out in the rain, take the hair dryer, dry it as best as you can before that even happens. So, like, for instance, if a dog comes to the salon and they're all sopping wet, but they're solid matted, I'm forced to do a wet shave on them. But at the same time, I'll have to go shorter because I get closer to the skin. That way, it's easier for my clipper to get through because it's going to tighten those knots up. So don't get it wet. Don't soak it. Don't soak it.
Good one. Thank you for writing in. Appreciate it. What else you got, sir?
We have Brenda from Iowa. She goes, I'm a groomer at PetSmart, and I'm already established as a groomer. But is there anything you could teach me as a business owner?
Yeah.
Yes, she can.
A lot. All the ins and outs, the trials, the patience that you have to gain, the waiting games that you're going to play. Like it's a lot. That's a huge topic. That's a huge topic. Like if you're going to go into like business for yourself, like that's huge. So I would just call me. It would be on the phone for like 6 hours, just running over things.
How do people get a hold of you?
You can call me at 414-369-8870. And then you can also get me on Facebook and Instagram at Official Pet Boutique or Straight to the Point Pet Grooming. And you can also go straight to pointpetgrooming.com or officialpetboutique.com as well.
Awesome. Well, what do you got, Mr. Producer?
We have Megan from Alabama, and I believe she asked, what was the hardest life lesson you've learned?
The hardest life lesson, and I'm just gonna be so honest with y'all. Never go into business with somebody else. Never have a partner. Never. Why? Because people won't be as true as you. They won't be as straightforward. They won't be as honest. And you run that potential risk of them, messing you over, and that's a big thing, especially like in the grooming industry where it's so lucrative. Like it's so easy for it to happen, especially when you put your trust in somebody and they have a different idea after you get everything established. It's so easy for somebody to just take it from you. Especially if you got a partner.
It sounds like you unfortunately you had a bad experience.
Absolutely.
Where you are, you must have, experienced everything to get to where you are now.
Right. And so that's my biggest so that's on the business side. In the grooming side, the biggest lesson I've learned is do not groom sedated dogs.
Why?
Because dogs who are sedated, you don't know how they're going to respond to it. Because the vet may give them the sedation medication to get groomed, but you're not a vet. So you don't have the things that you would need to revive them or to reverse what's going on with them due to the sedation. And they could potentially die because the only reason why you would sedate an animal to groom them is because they're aggressive, and if it's that stressful for you or for them, they could have adverse reactions to that and they could die. And the woman who just chimed in from, I think it was PetSmart, she would know that. She was like, yep, that's so true. It's so true. Like, you just don't do that because the risk is so high. You know what I mean? And you wouldn't want to have that on your hands. You know what I mean? If something did happen, because that would be traumatizing. Like, that would traumatize me.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
I'd
great
be like, oh
point.
no. Yeah.
Mr. Producer, what else you got? Thank you, lady from PetSmart.
Awesome. We have Malcolm from Maryland, and I believe he asked, did you always know you'd be a successful entrepreneur?
No.
No?
I didn't know. I just do me. I'm just do me. Like I was telling one of my friends last night, my friend Juan, like I don't know like how to be like anything but what I do or how I am or how I talk or how I work, or because like my work isn't like work for me. My work is like taking care of my kids. Like it's just equivalent to me. Like it's just life. Like that's what I do. It's who I am. It's how I am. So I didn't know that I would be successful at it. I just was successful at it.
You say you
I
just
don't know.
just
You
get
know, yeah, I just walked. I just kept going. And so, like, I didn't chase the money. Like, I just did what I liked, did what I knew. And it just became good. And it became great. And now it's a blessing. And now I just have all this knowledge. And I'm like, I should tell everybody about this. Like, I shouldn't keep this to myself because it's important, because some people don't know. And like, you don't know where to get the information from. Or you look on YouTube and they misguide you
yeah,
and
totally.
mislead you and then send you up the creek with no paddle and a hole in your boat. And then you don't know what to do then, you
Hmm.
know?
I got you.
So yeah, I didn't know that I would be successful. It just became that way. I just kept trying and kept going, even when the going got tough, and even when I wanted to quit, and even when I said I don't want to do this anymore, I still moseyed on over and did it anyways. You do it anyways
Right.
because that's what you do. That's what you're good at. Yeah,
Well, it also helps to have the passion that you have too, I would assume.
that's true. That's so true. But it's also good to have people around you who can make you laugh.
Yeah.
Because like I was talking to my friend Juan, and he's like, I saw you at work. Y'all are just kicking it at work, just grooming dogs, just kicking it. I'm just like, yeah, because it makes the dogs feel better when we're all laughing, because the aura is lighter, it's happier, and the dogs aren't barking all crazy. It's actually, if I wasn't talking and Heather wasn't talking, it would be completely silent, you know. So it gives the dogs something to listen to, because they understand the English language. They're around humans all the time, listening to their talking, and them dogs are probably cracking up whenever we're talking.
Cool. Mr. Producer, you got another one for me?
I don't, but I actually have a comment of my own.
Oh, you do?
I'm not sure if this is loud, but I can totally see Aminah having a complete monopoly on the grooming industry. Her work ethic is unmatched.
Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, you've listened to all of our shows. You've listened to what I've listened to. Yeah, she's pretty impressive. That's for sure. Hey,
I
Aminah.
appreciate y'all.
Yo,
I appreciate you.
it's inspiration. Like to see what you've done, and you've gone through some challenges personally too, and it seemed to kind of just put that
Yeah.
aside and just
Yeah.
crushed it anyway. Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's necessary.
Yeah. So, Aminah, tell everyone where they can get a hold of you. Anything you want to leave us with. Another great show. You get so much knowledge, and love when you come on. So the floor is yours, as my grandma used to say.
So everybody just keep pressing through whatever you're going through. And when you feel like quitting, just go ahead, say you're going to quit, and just go on, do what you do. Get it done anyways, because the day comes to an end at some point. And then just reconfigure your steps for the next day. And you can get a hold of me at officialpetboutique.com and straight to the point petgrooming.com, or on Facebook at Official Pet Boutique, or straight to the point pet grooming. And you can also call or text me at 414-369-8870. And you all have a blessed day.
The great Aminah Hamdan. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear what you got to say next. We'll be right back, guys.
All right, love.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.